Greetings, YouTube. In American culture, we have established that drinking is considered acceptable within certain parameters. You're supposed to drink from age 21. You're not supposed to drink when you're under than that. I understand that people do drink. I started when I was 14. Though the drinking age was 18 when I started, I think. Still not right, but it was closer to being legal. You can't be an alcoholic because that's not going to be considered socially acceptable. Being a drunk, not socially acceptable. So there are parameters within which we accept alcohol as just a part of life, but there are things that we don't. Being drunk and violent, not acceptable. Being drunk and a bad parent, not acceptable. And drinking and then getting behind the wheel of a car is not acceptable because you're now endangering the public. A car is a 3,000-pound missile. And if you were behind the wheel when you're under the influence of alcohol, you have now turned that into a dangerous weapon that could kill anyone that you encounter. Pedestrians, other cars, even buildings. Drunks have driven into buildings and hurt people. It's not hard to do because it's not like how homes have drunk barriers around them. And so we've accepted this. We don't question it. DUI is wrong. And in fact, I have a coworker, as soon as I discovered that he had been arrested for DUI, I never spoke to him again, unless it was about work. Boom, gone. You decided to drink, we're done. He hit 4 people. He hit a car with 4 people in it. He could have killed them. Thankfully, no one was injured, but he could have. He decided that his consumption of alcohol was worth more than the lives of 4 people. In addition, he took out a pole with a transformer on it and knocked out the power to 900 homes. So put all those families at risk. Who knows how many of them could potentially have had medical issues that would have been affected by suddenly having no electricity. So yes, incredibly, unbelievably selfish, self-centered, ego written large. Anybody figure out where I'm going with this yet? Wear your damn masks. Get vaccinated. Isolate if you're ill. Socially distance. And if you don't, you are no different than the drunk behind the wheel. You have placed the entire community at risk because you have chosen to not be vaccinated and not utilize the mitigation efforts which are freely available to you. Masks are not hard to acquire or make. Socially distancing is free. Isolating yourself when you're ill is free. The vaccine is free. It's all right there in front of you. If you don't use it, you are no better than a drunk driver. And if you're drunk, stay home. And as far as I'm concerned, if you haven't been vaccinated, you shouldn't be in the public. You should stay home, isolate yourself, because if you decided you're not going to engage in public discourse correctly, you're not going to make sure that your community is protected from you as a danger. You should not be out in public. Just like you should not be driving drunk. And if you think that RNA has an effect on DNA inside living cells, you don't know enough about RNA or DNA or mRNA vaccines to have an opinion. You just don't. Don't think you do. Don't listen to any disinformation out there coming to you out of some political pundit. Politicians are not medical professionals. Don't listen to Fox News or any of the other ones out there. Listen to medical professionals. And the medical professionals are telling you to get a damn vaccine. But you don't want to hear that because you have politicized our health. Right now, the vast majority of people getting COVID-19, particularly the Delta variant, are unvaccinated. 90+%. 90+%. And the rest are breakthrough cases because you folks have allowed the Delta variant to both come into existence because you were a ready pool for the experimentation done by the virus itself, and then you spread it to everyone. So you're dangerous. If you aren't vaccinated, you're dangerous. I drove past two groups of people yesterday protesting on the main street of my city about wanting to have the right to be anti-maskers. And as I drove by, I happened to drive by both ways within a half an hour. I flipped them off twice, one on each side. And one of the people in that protest was wearing a Blue Lives Matter shirt. And there's no difference between a Blue Lives Matter shirt and a Nazi flag. So if you're going to hang out with a fascist, with a white nationalist, that's going to maybe make me think poorly of you, on top of you being a plague rat. So now you're a white nationalistic plague rat. Congratulations. Get your vaccine, because without it, you are a public danger. You are killing children. Children in America are dying right now because there are people around them unvaccinated and giving them COVID-19, the Delta variant. And if you are a parent saying you want medical freedom to make decisions about your own child, newsflash, you're not smart enough to make those medical decisions. There's a reason you take your child to the doctor when they don't feel well, because you don't know enough about these things. You seek out the advice of a medical professional, and it's no different now. Stop politicizing medicine. You don't know what's right for your kid. You're not smart enough. I don't care how harsh this is to hear. I don't care if people are going to say, well, you're not going to get any converts. I don't give a fuck. Somebody needs to slap them in the face and say, hey, you know something? You're not smart. You're putting the world at risk because of your ego and your politics. And it's vile and repugnant. So go get the free vaccine, socially distance, and if you're ill, stay home. And wear a mask whenever you're inside to keep people safe. I do. Whenever I have to go inside a building, I wear a mask. And I'm not going inside buildings unless they're absolutely necessary that I go inside them. So, yeah, the power to stop this is in our hands. And the fact that there are whole groups of Americans who are gleefully allowing a pandemic to run rampant through our nation because of politics disgusts me.